The police action under scrutiny in a more recent context, nothing to do with you, the wrestlers' protests. And the wrestlers who were sitting for 1 month in the heart of the capital protesting sexual abuse, sexual harassment against BJP MP Brij Bhushan Singh on the day of the inauguration of the new parliament building are taken away, kicking and screaming by the scruff of their collars. It was terrible to see Vinesh Phogat and Sakshi Malik, being taken away like that. Did the police have a choice? Because if the wrestlers have decided कि हम नहीं जाएंगे, now I said that the police could have offered an alternative venue of protest. What did you think when you saw those images?
See, I have spoken to my colleagues because I was invited by a TV channel to speak on the police action against the wrestlers. It was not as if all those attempts were not made, There were extensive deliberations with the wrestlers and various alternatives were offered and so on and so forth. The images of the police action are highly unedifying. They are, I would say, they were even revolting that girls and boys who have brought us so many laurels, they are being treated like this.
Yes.
Very disturbing images. But it was perhaps police had no option, no other way of dealing with it. They have to be removed, There was section 144, important government function was being held inside the new parliament house.
But the police had also dragged its feet on action against Brij Bhushan Singh. There was a POCSO Act registered in the FIR against him, which normally mandates first arrest, then bail applications and so on. Had Brij Bhushan Singh not been a member of parliament, the police would have probably arrested him much, ahead of needing to negotiate with the wrestlers to end their protest.
Barkha, I don't know all the facts, and there are so many things which both you and I don't know, which are behind the scenes. In my conversation with my colleagues, some of them were, shared with me. Some of them, not all. So there is much more to it than meets the eye. But having said that, I have already said in a TV interview that I know the person against whom the accusations are being made.
Brij Bhushan Singh.
And
the reason, just to give context to our audience, this is a man who, when I was a very young reporter, had been accused of links with the underworld, with Dawood Ibrahim, and you have spent a large part of your life investigating the underworld. So I think you will know a lot about this man, but now go ahead.
And I have also investigated a case in which he was himself involved. He had given shelter to some of the gang members of Dawood Ibrahim.
Along with Kalpanath Rai.
Subhash Thakur, Bhai Thakur, Ram Kishore Garikapatti and so on and so forth.
But he gets acquitted in this case eventually, right?
But yet, while investigating that case, I had come to know about his background and so on. And
so can you tell us a little bit about him? What sort of chap is he? I mean, I'm smiling because I'm, of course, being ironic here. He has 4 pending criminal cases against him.
I have chuckled for the
same reason. For the same reason.
Yeah, but if these accusations are being made against generally somebody who is held in high esteem and otherwise, then you tend to doubt those allegations. You are a bit skeptical about them. But in this case, given his background, you tend to believe that, perhaps these allegations may be true.
Is he a dangerous man?
Going by his past record, he is dangerous.
Would it have taken a lot of courage for the women to eventually speak against him?
I'm sure they would have.
You have also mentioned that you are familiar with the fact that asking women or their families for sexual favors is not uncommon in the way sports is managed in our country. And I think I read a horrifying detail from you in your interview to Hindustan Times, where you say sexual favors have even been sought from the mothers of sportswomen. Can you share a little bit about this?
See, these are in the realm of allegations and complaints, which some of which we had looked into, that mothers who come with their wards to playgrounds for coaching of their wards, they are sometimes asked for sexual favors if they want their wards to be
In
given.
which sport?
Cricket.
In cricket.
Yes.
In cricket, mothers who come with their wards for practice, for
Practice for coaching.
at what level?
No,
Who's asking them for-
Junior, the coaches, the selectors, and so on and so forth.
You have received complaints like this, or you have
Yeah.
investigated this
No,
independently?
we are not investigated. We had received some anonymous complaints to that extent.
When
And
was this, sir?
This was, say, 2014-15. I joined the BCCI in 2015, and these incidents that were brought to my notice pertain to periods which were there, years before I joined. But this is, by the way, this is common knowledge. This is not something very, common
It is
knowledge.
common knowledge that mothers of aspiring cricketers are asked by selectors or coaches for sexual favors.
At some coaching academies, at some cricket grounds.
Who's accountable for this?
Of course, the people who are managing that academy or that those premises.
No, what I'm trying to understand is does this go back to the Board of Cricket Control? Does this go back to the government? Are these private players? Is it all mixed up?
No, if the mothers go and report the matter to the police, then it becomes a government matter. But they have not been brought to the notice of the police, to the best of my knowledge. But in certain district clubs, and by the way, this also applies to aspiring women cricketers, of sexual favors being asked of them by the coaches and so on. So it's not something uncommon.